you give some reasoning behind it, why that's good, and then you give some kind of supporting evidence to indicate that your reasoning is correct and therefore your assertion is correct. So who was it that answered, who was it that said Brexit before? You, right, so you voted Remain. Okay, no, that's fine, that's the right vote. Objectively the right vote, but, what was your reasoning?
I think
Very quickly, just one quick reason. There could be lots.
peace,
What? Peace.
peace, unity,
Okay, peace and unity, and just one bit of evidence.
togetherness, yeah.
So what's one bit of evidence to support that?
Well, the Second World War for me was a big,
Okay, so there was the Second World War,
yeah.
and not a war among those states since. Okay, so there's the assertion, the reasoning, and the evidence. Now, unlike in a regular Toastmasters Club, if you made that speech, if you made that speech in a regular Toastmasters Club, you'd be fine. In a debating club, though, somebody's on the opposite side trying to prove that you're wrong. So, is there anyone here who voted leave? Anyone? Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. Mark. So you did better off out, right? That's your assertion.
Yeah.
Better off out. What's your reasoning? Just give any one, just one, not a lot, not a lot.
A country should have national sovereignty, so it should be able to make its own laws.
Okay, reasoning, evidence. What would you offer in evidence for
Well, the
that?
majority of our laws come from Brussels, not Westminster.
Okay, so majority of law now. Okay, now I'm not going to start a fight here. It's not what we do. But again, as I said, in a debate, then someone on the other side would challenge that evidence and say either challenge the evidence and say, that's wrong. It's not a majority of the laws are made in Brussels. Or if that's true, if the majority are, then challenge the reasoning and say why it's okay. That, all right, so if you were challenging the reasoning and you wanted to say it's okay that, let's say you accept the evidence, you want to challenge the reasoning, why would it be okay that a majority of the laws are made in Brussels? Any volunteers? Lucas?
Yeah, because the Parliament is made up of MPs who are voted nationally to the national members of the EU.
Okay, yeah, so those laws that are made in Brussels are made by a parliament, European Parliament, that are elected by the citizens of the various countries of the EU. So both those things can be true. I mean, but the evidence that the European Parliament is elected by European citizens. So both those bits of evidence can be true, and the reasoning can be true. Then what does it come down to?
How persuasive they are each when they're speaking.
Well, yes, that in debate, but what it comes down to from when you're analyzing it is which one of those is more important. So I watch Prime Minister's questions a lot, and this week the Prime Minister was questioned on education funding, and she said by the opposition. An opposition MP said something about education funding. Why aren't you funding the schools? And the Prime Minister gave the answer she always gives every time I've seen her ask a question about that. She says, this government is spending more on education than any government in history. Now, I looked it up, and that's true. The number of pounds is higher than at any point in history. That's true. But, is that all there is to that answer? No. All right, so what's missing from that?
Inflation.
Say again?
Inflation.
Inflation and population. Exactly. Now, for the first time ever, I saw then subsequently another opposition MP challenge her on that and said, yes, the budget for education is higher than it's ever been, but so is the population of pupils, and on a per pupil basis, it's not the highest it's ever been. So you can say something that is true but less important, and you can say something that is true but misleading. So we're going to do a quick fire exercise here called the why game. Has anyone ever heard of the why game? Okay, all right, good. Most of you haven't. That's good. So I'm going to ask for someone to give an assertion on, does anyone have an opinion on physician-assisted suicide? Physician-assisted suicide. All right, gentlemen, could you come up here? Okay, physician-assisted suicide is when the doctor helps you to commit suicide. It's currently illegal, right, law student?
I
Yes.
think it
Yes.
is illegal in
It
the
is.
UK.
It is still illegal. It's illegal in Switzerland. It's illegal in the UK. Do you think it should be legal?
I definitely think it should be legal.
Oh, right, yeah, no. There's gonna be time for that. So, here's the why game. Could you tell me your name again?
Max.
Max. All right, Max is going to make an assertion. When he makes it, the audience job is to shout back, why? And then Max will give a very short answer. And then you'll say, why again? And then you'll give a very short answer. And we'll say, why again? And I'll stop you when you start repeating yourself, or if you want to surrender. Are you up for this game, Max?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I want you to say, physician-assisted suicide, it's not easy to say. Never mind the thing. Physician-assisted suicide should be legal.
Physician-assisted suicide should be legal.
Why?
Because the physician is realizing the autonomous decision of the patient.
Why?
Because patients, we should not take away from patients the right to make
Why?
decisions for themselves. Because we believe that people are usually born free.
Why?
Because it is part of our constitutional values that each human, each adult should be given the right to make decisions for themselves.
Why?
Because people are not the property of the state or any other higher authority. Because all the power that the state has in a democratic society comes from the decision of the people.
Okay, I think
Well
you're
done.
repeating yourself.
Yeah,
So.
well done.
So well done.